Good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm Kevin Gensel, the Chief Revenue Officer at Gannett. And I am joined this morning by my colleague and close compadre, Blair Heavey, the President of Sales at now Gannett also.
Exactly.
We are here live from the great state of Florida to kick off the Advertising Sales, Marketing Solutions, and Services team meeting. Woo! All right.
Hopefully the same enthusiasm is going in across the country as this team has.
We're looking at you, Austin, and Phoenix, and Boston, and New York. Mm-hmm. Where else are we looking?
We got Ohio, the great state of Ohio.
Great state of Ohio. Big
Illinois,
state for us.
The North Carolina and South Carolina teams. Good old Texas.
See, the problem when you go out on the rope like this is you forget a place, and we don't mean to do that. So we'll try to call out everybody during our time together this morning.
The texts are already coming in. Like,
exactly. So we're here today to share with you our excitement of these two great companies coming together. And we want to specifically hone in on who we are becoming together as this incredible media company, and then also as an industry-leading digital marketing solutions business. And so that's going to be the organizing principle of the slides that we take you through today. So to start off, you heard Mike and Paul yesterday talk about the incredible scale of the two companies coming together as a digital media organization. Let me unpack that for a minute. We will reach 140 million Americans across the US every single month, educating them, informing them, entertaining them. This makes us one of, if not the largest, source for news and information on the internet in America. That's incredible. Now, when you then start to unpack our reach, and I thought Paul spoke to this eloquently yesterday, because it's not just about the scale, it's how we have built it. We have built this scale by relevantly reaching one reader at a time in one community at a time, scaled across the country. That's much different than others in the scaled media space have built their audience. Our readers need us for those reasons I outlined previously. And so it's not just the totality of the reach, but it's the relevancy of the trust-based journalism, news, information, entertainment, and education that we bring them every single month. I should also say that print is very important to us.
There's a little profit.
There's a lot of profit to that, and also our readers demand that from us too. We're going to talk a lot about our digital future today, but just know that Blair and I have a shared belief system on the importance of print. Many of us read both, right? And so we know that print will continue to be a core part of the product solution set we bring to our clients in 2020 and beyond. Okay.
I think just one quick comment, the audience that we've been able to gather, right, from a Gatehouse perspective, this accelerates the transformation that we were down the path on. So really, really excited about that. So continuing to work with print, right, make sure that we get the best out of print in our revenues, right? It's an asset that we have. It's an asset that we want to continue to have, and then accelerate our digital transformation, right? That's what we all want. That's what we've been kind of striving for from our side, but the combination allows that to do us much, much faster and better.
And when we talk about print, if you happen to pick up a copy of USA Today last week, you will have seen a cover wrap that we developed with Amazon, promoting a new movie that they're launching around politics. And I think that's a demonstration of the fact that one of the world's leading technology companies believes in the power and the reach and the impact that print can create with our reader base. And speaking of USA Today, I just want to touch on that business for a moment if I can. When you read the press around maybe this merger or other elements of local media, you hear a narrative of some doom and gloom out there. And it's our job to fight through that. I'll tell you, though, that we've led a transformation of the USA Today brand. So there is a model for what digital future can look like. I'm proud to say that USA Today will have just experienced its 10th consecutive quarter of advertising revenue growth. Now think about that. And in that journey, we have worked to recomposition the revenue of USA Today so that now about 82% of it is digital and 18% of it is print. And as I mentioned, we're still growing that business.
It's nice to have the plus signs up when you go quarter over
Yeah.
quarter than some of the other things that we've had to deal with.
And we're going to have a lot more of that next year. Okay. So here's a collection of some of the media brands that we'll be bringing together as we go to market, both in local, regional, multi-location, as well as national. We believe that local is our superpower. It defines and differentiates who we are to national brands, to local readers, and very importantly, to local businesses. On the media company side, it's our job to inform, entertain, educate the members of our communities. It's also our job on the business side to help local businesses not only survive, but to thrive in this Amazonian world that we exist in. And we believe we have the tech, the tools, the talent, the trust, and the team to do it.
Yeah, the team is unbelievably important, right? We're in the process of talking to all of our members of each one's teams and kind of helping us with, the great leadership that we had on both sides, but even the combined leadership that would be stronger for all of us. So more than anything, that's the most exciting part, I would say from my personal perspective, is the talent that's around this room, that's in this video conference, is kind of unsurpassed, I believe, in the media space. And I think that the combination allows us to have much more of a sales and market culture, right? In order for us to get to where we need to get to, that's the culture that we're going to have to drive. And it isn't going to be just Kevin and I. We're going to need all of you guys to be able to do that.
Hear, hear. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Did I mention that we're going to be the largest source for news and information on the internet? Oh, I did? Okay. We're the sales organization, right? We like to over-enunciate the key parts of the storyline.
You got to puff out your chest.
Got to puff out our chest a little bit. But what's interesting, too, when you unpack our reach, it's not just scaled Gen X that consumes us. It is also reach to millennials. We found when we were digging into audience data that we were reaching about 49 million millennials across the US. Now, sit with that for a moment. When you look at the age demographic of our audience, we skew almost a third boomer, a third Gen X, and a third millennial. I think that our category of local trust-based journalism is not given the credit for reaching this audience segment, and yet we do. This not only to me demonstrates the relevancy of what we're doing, but that we have a strong future of readership and audience to grow upon. This millennial is a woman I love to use in presentations because I think she's cool. And I think she's either reading the USA Today website or perhaps Cincinnati.com, shout out to Ohio. But it also works to serve as a perception changer of who we are as a media organization. We also like to say that we now, in combination, are a media company that is differentiated because we reach the diversity of this country. We reach red states and blue states. We're urban and rural. We're north and we're south. We're east and we're west. And we feel that our ability to represent the diversity of this country means we uniquely bring to life the voice of America. And that is powerful.
It's powerful. Powerful not only for our readers, but all the advertisers that we're going to get, both existing, which we're hopefully going to grow, as you guys will see, and then new, right? that we get after new advertisers that didn't understand, they didn't know, right, the message that Kevin just gave you, right, about the consumer audience, about the reach, about the folks that we can go take their message to and be able to convert those into action that's meaningful for them. Really, there isn't any other company that can do that in our space. We'll talk about one example about that a little bit later, where we literally kicked the hell out of digital competition in our spaces that were incumbents, and that was just with our audience. The combined audience will be able to get farther and bigger deals for us to go after. And you guys will end up making some more money on that as well.
Woo! Okay. Hugely powerful, defined and differentiated media company together. Now look at this. This here is a portfolio of the industry-leading digital marketing solutions businesses that we are now sitting on an opportunity to pull together. It's incredible. When you think about WordStream, which you all will learn more and more about, when you think about ReachLocal and ThriveHive and UpCurve and SweetIQ, the combination of being able to pull these products and solutions together so that we can start to intelligently segment clients, create right-sized solutions, right price, right product mix, get at them aggressively, and the way that we can expand the number of digital clients that come to us through this set of brands and solutions is incredible. Not to mention the amount of tech and talent and data and analytics and best practices that we'll be able to harness through all of this together. It's very exciting.
Right. One story I'll share, it's when we first started our transformation that this accelerates, we had meetings with our New England sellers, right? So our New England sellers, 100% and above quotas, the best of the best that we had in there. And like, guys, how are we doing with our products? Like, we love our product set. We're very proud to go have it. We're proud to go bring it to advertisers. It delivers results. We're super happy. And we just maxed out that with the combination, right? So the folks in New England, I'm sure the 100%ers that we talked to are smiling, as well as the folks that are around the country.
So I'm going to speak to an FAQ early, local IQ. So to all of my colleagues on the old Gannett side, you're very familiar with local IQ. To all of my colleagues on the new Gannett side, love to start to narrate that story for you on how we landed on local IQ. And I'll do that quickly right now. So we had been trying to figure out how we could build an agency that could take advantage of the tech and the tools and the data and the scale that we had, but not to work with national brands to use these tools to empower local businesses, to treat them like national brands had been treated previously. That was sort of a vision. We felt like that could help transform and change the trajectory of the future of the old Gannett. Believe that passionately, and still do. And so in all of our work, we started to think, does this entity have a name? And if so, what is it? So we had some really bad names that we had on a whiteboard. And then one day I was in the room when a few of us thought, well, we have this amazing ReachLocal company. We have this amazing SweetIQ company. What if we just amalgamated those names into Local IQ? It gets at the heart and soul of who we are, who we want to be when we show up and sit with a client. And it's sitting right in front of us. So there's really not a whole lot more or less than that. It took longer than you might think to get to the Local IQ brand, but we're really proud of it. We also acknowledge that ThriveHive is an awesome brand, and that UpCurve is a great brand, and of course WordStream. So we're going to take some time as we enter into 2020 to really sit down and figure out how do we best organize the brand structure to go to market powerfully. One of the organizing principles for us with Local IQ, we wanted to change the perception a bit with our clients from being just the newspaper folks into more complete marketing partners when we came to sit with them to help them solve their challenges. And we found that Local IQ has helped to drive that perception change. Yes, we're an incredible heritage-based media company, and we can utilize that to do great things for you. But remember, we've also committed to both merger and acquisition of very powerful digital marketing solutions businesses that we can also put to work for you.
Well said.
Okay, that was the sped up version, everyone. All right, on this one. Now, when we think about who we are when we show up with our clients, we were recently at a QBR with Google out in Palo Alto. And we have a multi-touch point partnership with Google, as you might imagine. We have a newsroom partnership with Google. We have an ad serving partnership with Google. We have a programmatic partnership with Google. We have a YouTube partnership with Google. And then we have all of our DMS relationships with them. We carry clout with Google. And when we were at dinner, we had their global head of partnerships join the dinner and then attend the meeting that we held the next day. Now, this is a person who reports to the CEO of Google. And when you're in the immediate set of a CEO at Google, you're time pressed and you're kind of in rarefied air there. And over dinner, Don shared with me that we are their largest SMB channel partner in the world. Now, I can't say that. That's an off the record.
It's just getting recorded.
He
Like,
says
don't
to
let-
7,000 people.
Kelly and Monica edit that part.
Yeah, exactly. It's not on, you see, it's not on the slide like that, but it's true. And why I mention that to you all is hopefully that's a wow, that's awesome, but also know that that gives us a different seat at the table with Google when they're developing product, or when they're changing algorithms, or when they want feedback to what's working and what's not. And we're just proud of that. That's a combination of all of our partnership together. And I just wanted to call it out because as defined and differentiated as we are on the media side of our company, we are over on the digital marketing solution side of the business too. Blair, I love this example that you tell me about.
So we decided we had to come and show you like some example of how we're kind of bringing digital to life for our customers. So this is Culligan Water, right? So a couple of shout outs to the team first. First shout out is the Thrive Hive Google Events team, right? Which we have, they go around to all different markets. They found Culligan, right? They brought the director of marketing to an event for us with Google. Then we had three, and I know I'm leaving out other people on the team, but great sellers led by Jake Meyer, Cash Lawley, and Greg Morris, who came and said, we believe we have the digital solutions, we have the audience that director of marketing from Culligan wants to go get, and we're going to beat the competition that's there. So they beat an incumbent agency that had been there for a long time. They beat two other agencies that were regional that had more kind of cachet maybe than our name. And they bought us because of not only we understood their needs, we applied audience and engagement to those needs. And it's a $1.1 million deal, right? So it's big,
Woo!
It's great. So no pressure, but we're going to be launching this baby soon. So like, whoever the fulfillment team is, help us out, right? So,
Yeah, big shout out to our services and client success teams, for sure. We thought we would also bring to life some of the ad innovations that we've built on both sides of the company as we come together. One that I'm proud of on the Legacy Gannett side is when Kelly Andreessen and I joined the company about 4 years ago, we recognized that coming to Gannett, there was an opportunity to build out what we felt would be the first comprehensive go-to-market in native advertising and branded content built to scale for local businesses ever. And it's hard.
that was a golf clap
It
one there.
was hard. And we did it. We did it. And now imagine, though, getting all of the native ad slots across all of our mobile web and desktop websites, just all the work to be able to tell stories for local businesses in a way that could match their budgets and then ultimately scale. So we're live and in action with this product set.
Awesome. So the other thing that we did when we first came in to the Gatehouse Group, we wanted to digitally transform, and we wanted to look at things, from a verticalized standpoint too. So we looked at our auto segment and said, what can we do that's different and unique on Facebook, especially, that would give us an auto solution that nobody else had? So came up with the Intelligent Facebook product package, and that has been an unbelievable seller for the auto group. In fact, the auto group is now north of 50% in digital sales, and is one of our only groups that put up that plus sign, much like Kevin talked about the USA Today. We're not at that overall revenue number, but we put up plus signs for the last 2 years in that space, which is awesome, right?
Awesome.
None of us like to see those negative numbers.
We're going to get there more and more. I also have to say I'm somewhat proud to see an example of the Gainesville Suns innovation up here, representing the great college town of Gainesville, Florida. Go Gators. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we're able to take advantage of the tech and the tools that have come in from the very talented product teams that we get to work with across ReachLocal, WordStream, SuiteIQ, and now ThriveHive and UpCurve. This is a quick example of one of those tools. Before we go in and meet with a local business, we will actually run what we call a grader, or a digital health checkup on that business. We will enter the company's address, and we'll learn quickly through this tool how that business is utilizing SEM, their website, SEO, and display. It will then give them a grade. Think about how that changes the dynamic of a meeting with a client. You really have become a marketing consultant like that. We'll clearly spend more time with the tech and the tools, but just wanted to give you an illustration of some of the game-changing ways we're going to market.
I thought we were doing a quiz on them afterwards.
That'll come. Well, I sort of said these points. We believe, though, that coming together brings us the ultimate definition of the business. There are other large media companies out there, and as we know, there are digital marketing vendors out there. There is nobody in this country that is sitting on the foundation of what we have to roar and to grow into the future. I tell you, it's hard to temper your excitement about what we can unlock with the size and the scale, the relevancy and the trust, the industry-leading tools and tech, and most importantly, the talent of these teams,
right,
including the room that we're in right now.
Right. We'll be working with you guys a lot more. Like, you have to believe, right? And you have to take that belief out to the market, right? Of all of these different tools, all of this size, all of this scale, all of this reach, right? So, just like I talked about in the New England group, right? You guys should be hopefully super proud of not only the talent, but the tools and the solutions that we're giving you to the market. There's nobody that should beat us in this market. When we look at, kind of Florida where we started this, there's I don't know, if you can edit it. There's a shitload of opportunity, right, for us to get after in the Florida market.
It's a live stream.
Right. Some people are upset, I'm sorry, but but we have so much to get after, guys. And the fact that we want to put up more of those plus signs, and frankly, the company needs us to drive those plus signs, right? They're looking to us to drive those plus signs.
Okay. Now it's time for some FAQs.
Should we go into like a fireside chat
Well,
mode?
why not?
My Achilles, I have to sit down for a second. So, would you like to start?
I'd like you to start with the first one, please, Blair.
Okay. So these are questions that we got from various sales leaders we've come up with that have been asked to us before, and we're going to try to share, the best answers that we have right now. So, first question. I do feel like that kind of Vanna White thing. We will move right away. Will we move right away to a new organization? So, I see the eyes light up, right?
Good question.
Right. Awesome. So, it's our hope to have the local sales regional design, right, and the leadership in place to announce in early December. So Kevin and I, as well as others from both leadership teams, have been, kind of working very, very hard at that. So we're close, and we'll be announcing that soon.
And we've just given ourselves a date.
Nothing like some
Yeah,
pressure.
pressure is a privilege bestowed upon us. Okay. Will the Reach Local, WordStream, and Thrive Hive sales teams become part of the sales organization? Good question. As we know right now, John Camarata and the Reach Local sales organization will continue to be in our sales organization. They're incredibly talented. Hopefully we can start to do some cross introductions and get those relationships built quickly. With WordStream and Thrive Hive, it's business as usual right now. We want to just keep everything moving forward. We have numbers to hit. I think Paul pretty elegantly discussed that yesterday. We need to stay as focused as possible. So into the foreseeable future, it's business as usual there.
Okay. So continuing on the local region questions, how many local regions do we anticipate having? Right. So we've discussed back and forth a whole bunch of different things, and we're closing in on 8 different regions that we'll have for our local groups. Right. We're still finalizing the plan, so give us a little out. Don't throw things if we change that, but that's where we're looking at right now.
And in that work, we're looking at not only overall revenue, we're looking at number of clients, we're looking at number of salespeople, we're looking at number of sales managers, and very importantly, we're doing our best to analyze the actual market opportunity that exists in the regions across the country so we can grow. Will we be able to sell across multiple regions and local properties? Gosh, I was hoping not to get this one. I can't wait for you to be able to do that. Trust me. I mean, there are just so many ways that we think about the positive revenue impact and synergy when we're starting to be able to cross-sell. I mean, I think about building average order sizes significantly, being able to sell audiences across adjacent markets, our ability to grow our programmatic private marketplace, programmatic guaranteed businesses is huge. PFP is a great call out. Online video, the amount of inventory we're going to start to grow and be able to sell to both local and national businesses. It's hard for me to temper my excitement. However, I have to temper my excitement because we know we have to go through some process and some systems integrations, and those just invariably take time. And by the way, we didn't say this up front, but know that Blair and I have a commitment to over-communicate during the integration and forever. So we're planning a next town hall, likely in early December. We're still honing in on the location, but it's possible that it might be Austin.
Love Texas.
Who doesn't? However, so with something like when can we start to cross-sell, we're just going to keep addressing it so that you know we haven't forgotten it and that it continues to be a real priority for us.
I think that the next question I think was already kind of answered by Kevin, which was, will we continue to use the Local IQ brand, right? And he already gave us the answer. So I'll just jump to the next question, which is, will we pick from both Gannett and Gatehouse leaders in the future state organization? And the answer to that is yes. Right? You've seen how Paul and Mike have collaborated on the senior management team, and you have folks from both sides on that. We want to pick the best leaders and that really believe in, understand, and can take action towards our growth mission. Right? That's the key, right? That we want those leaders to help us drive that opportunity within the market. So we anticipate leaders from both sides to be part of the future state sales organization.
Absolutely. We're so mindful of it. I drew another doozy. Will
yeah,
we
no,
move to
no.
one CRM?
Nobody likes
Thank
this
you,
question.
Blair, for this one.
I looked ahead, that's why.
Yeah, yeah. You know what we have on here on the card? Yes, eventually. Sounds like what I tell my twin daughters. Yes, eventually. We currently use Salesforce at the old Gannett into New Gannett, and I know that New Gannett Gatehouse uses Sugar. So as you all well know, there's a lift when it comes to integrating onto a single instance of a CRM platform. What we commit to is doing due diligence to ensure that we do it in a way that creates a low amount of cognitive overhead for each of our salespeople. We try to put ourselves into the shoes of salespeople every single day to experience what you're experiencing, to hopefully help improve the way that you conduct your business, your ability to earn money, your ability to grow professionally as well as the business. And I know that a CRM tool is foundational to that. So we're working with IT, and it's a priority for us as well. I just can't commit to a time. So I think in the meanwhile, we're going to have sales managers working with sales ops so that you're not doing a ton of swiveling of the chair from one system to the other, and we're going to figure that out for you just as quickly as we can. We're super mindful of it.
I saw a little sigh of relief on the
I
sales
know,
managers in
I
the
know.
audience, right?
It's like-
Don't give me two, right? Okay, will we continue to have digital leaders and digital strategists in the local regions similar to the Gatehouse structure? So our digital revenue growth is absolutely paramount. We've talked about that. That's been the majority of kind of what we've talked about here. And it's going to be paramount to the success of the organization. We're going to look to the digital talent, our go-to-market, and the results, and help us kind of define what the right future state is, right? But we need as much digital talent as we can possibly get. So we're not going to mess around with those things.
Yes. Question, will we continue to move forward with inside sales centers? The answer to that is yes. We believe that our field sales organization can be complemented by inside selling. And we have done some of this testing at Gannett when we transitioned some of our low spending, print heavy, and volatile accounts into inside sales centers over the past 18 months. We're seeing some best practices emerge from that. In our acquisition of WordStream, we've acquired a company that has an incredible inside selling culture. I've had the pleasure of experiencing that a handful of times. And with the amount of opportunity that we have across this country, we feel like inside sales can be an arm that helps us speed up some velocity of getting after a bigger number of clients, very often not existing in our media centers. Just know, in my career, I'm honored and humbled to have led some of the largest field sales organizations in the industry. It is of primary importance to me that our field sales organization thrives and that we have a continued focus on the relationships, the partnerships, and the growth we can build as trusted advisors to clients.
Awesome. This is a great question. Will we have publishers in our future organization? Right. So the structure and roles of kind of what's happening within the field organization are being discussed, at the executive team level. So no decisions have been made, but we do expect kind of those decisions and thoughts, as well as the structure, to come in the coming months for us.
Okay, will we invest in our digital transformation? Yes.
Just leave it. Yeah, exactly. Enough said. Right. What if we have a shared account or cover an overlapping market? Right. So as Kevin said, for Q4, right, it's business as usual. Right. We're not messing around with anything in Q4. We're thinking of the 2020 plans, right? And these issues will be specifically addressed by the sales leadership team that we'll announce soon, right? So that we understand the local field levels before making any of those decisions.
Will you change comp plans for 2020? No. Here's our thinking. There's a lot of change management occurring through the integration. And so much of the future of the company rests in the success of our sales organization. Pressure is a privilege. No, in all seriousness,
Everybody sat up straight though on that one.
Exactly. Again, I don't want to reiterate too hard Mike and Paul's sentiment about the importance of the sales organization, the importance of each seller really staying focused on driving the business forward. We just felt like the places where we could control consistency for you, we wanted to do our best to control that consistency. And what's more important than a comp plan to a sales organization? Well, not much, right? And we know that. So there are some little tweaks we think that we can create, for instance, in the Legacy Gannett plan to make it better. And you'll hear more about that from us. But the overall plan itself will remain consistent so that you have your bearings on how you can earn.
So when do you anticipate coming out to the local markets? So this is kind of like for folks that follow college football, I like the ESPN kind of analogy that we're coming to your city at some point. I don't think we'll roll up in a bus, but at least I hope not. But in cars. And Kevin and I will both be doing a lot of traveling in the December, January timeframe. We don't know which cities yet, but we'll be out to a lot of the cities to meet the local teams.
Our bags are packed for you, as they say. Okay, will this alter our budgeting and sales planning process? No. Right, Kathy? I think you would appreciate that.
Lots of people
No,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
Thank
let's
God we're doing that.
Yeah, let's keep building those plans and let's drive our execution and go to market for sure.
But poor Ken looked at me and like, are you kidding me? We got to do this? So, will we have shared KPIs? I love KPIs. It's so great for 2020. The answer to that is yes. All right. And I think more than anything, we've mentioned it at least a half a dozen times, right? The new business opportunity that we have within our local markets, you can be guaranteed that is going to be one of the KPIs as we go out to the market.
And let me just end by saying this process has moved fast for us, and I couldn't have worked with a more collaborative partner with Blair. And I want to thank Blair so much for staying on to work together with me throughout Q1 so we can manage this intelligently, with speed, with accuracy, with empathy, and with passion. I'm honored to be working with all of you. I can't wait to get out into market with you, to spend time with our sales organization and our clients. Thanks, everybody.